Back with the Bassman, remaining work that needs to be completed. So we got the 3-prong, we'll just put in a new one, redo all of this, these two switches, remove the wires going to the ground switch, and yeah, just cleaning up any other work we see along the way, and then turning it on and seeing what we got. So let's time lapse through the work. I don't even know what to make of this. It's shrink wrapped for some reason. I don't know. Perplexing, but we'll get rid of this junk. Cool, so we've got the 3-prong and the power and standby switches installed. I'll quickly run through how it's wired. So we've got the ground connection or earth connection down here to chassis. The power transformer has 2 primaries. You want one connected to the neutral, and I'm just using the ground switch lug here just as a junction point. This is not actually wired to anything. And then you've got the hot of the 3-prong going to the fuse tip. Fuse sleeve goes to the power switch. The other end of the power switch goes to the other end of the power transformer. And obviously the standby switch is pretty self-explanatory. So that looks pretty good. I'll clean it up a little bit, but yeah, we are all done with the 3-prong. So from here, it's really just, I guess, testing it and seeing how things are going. Oh, I don't know if I showed this as well, but the lugs on the power transformer were quite loose. So those were retightened, and I removed the solder lugs that are no longer needed, so that it's good to go. And I put a lock washer or a lock nut on this end as well because it was missing one. So cool, all good things, and moving in the right direction. So we're almost done. So I've got all of the tubes in the amplifier now, and we can go ahead and do our first test. It's plugged into the current limiter using the Weber Bassman wiring harness here, which has 2 RCA jacks, which then go to a single 1/4 inch. So then I can run that into an aux box just for a load, put a 4 ohm load on it. And yeah, we've got the variac on about 90 volts, so quite low. Go ahead and turn it on, make sure we've got light. We do. Make sure we've got negative voltage, which we do. So we've confirmed that. It looks all good. We'll go ahead and flip it off standby. Make sure nothing goes crazy on the current limiter. Very faint glow. That looks pretty good. All right, so there's 110 volts, which is the kind of operating voltage this amp originally would have expected. I'm very curious to see what the voltages come through at 110 without the current limiter. We'll check that once we know it's all healthy, but so far so good. Now I can't actually hear the amp because it's running the aux box, but that's okay. We're really just looking for measurements right now. Those tubes are fairly well matched. But yeah, nothing showing incorrect on the current limiter. So let's go ahead and plug into the variac normally. Turn that sucker off and grab some headphones and see what it sounds like. So at 110, we can see plate voltage is right around 432 volts, which is pretty bang on for the schematic. So you can see right there, 432, 430. That's connected to the screen. So yeah, that looks very good. Basically dead on the money. We'll bring it up to 120. So that's at 120. We can see we went from 430 to now 472. So quite a large jump going up 10 volts AC. And that's where things get a little hairy. So still looks like it's biased cool. So let's go ahead and check the bias now. So we can see at 474 plate voltage or thereabouts, we can get, 44 milliamps would still be a safe range. So we're about half that, where the hotter of the 2 tubes is at 25 milliamps. So let's bump this up a good amount. See the number changing here. So I would say target maybe high 30s. It's about 38. See what that gives us. Cool. So there's 60% plate dissipation, 39 milliamps at 462. That's pretty good for me. I think that's a good spot that we can kind of stick to. Now, do you have output from the amp, which is good. Interesting. Oh, okay. So you can see that this pot was replaced, and it's missing the bright cap. So that's what makes the bright channel the bright channel. So I'll probably want to be adding that in. I'll talk to the owner to confirm. But yeah, everything's looking good here. So from now, I'm just going to go ahead and take some voltages through the amp at both 110, 117, 120, just for my records. Go ahead and plug a guitar in and see how it sounds. All right, first audio test done. Results very promising. So running the aux box, I actually don't even know what cabinet that was. I don't remember what setting 5 is, and I don't have any Apple devices, so I can't access the dang thing. Thanks, UA. But regardless, totally hear the bones are good there. So everything's looking pretty sweet. Does seem like the presence control is a little wonky. It's not really doing anything until the final little bit, then it gets super bright. There's, I believe, 2 different ways they wire the presence control, and obviously this one's been messed with, so I'll have to double check on mine how that behavior compares, and then we need to add a bright cap to the bright channel just to give it that full functionality, but otherwise seeming pretty good. Actually not loud at all, or rather not noisy at all. I still have to solder the connections on the speakers in the cabinet and put that all back together. So we'll have to do that before we can test into the original cabinet, but so far, so good. So we're gonna end here and pick it up tomorrow. Checking back in with the Bassman, I decided to try and just fix up the presence control, remove that large, ugly orange drop cap. I hate these vintage amps just for the aesthetics alone, just not a big fan. Swap in a Mallory or a Vichet, something smaller, but I decided to test the pot itself because we noticed in the play test that it really didn't have any effect really until the very last little bit. And so I wanted to test what the pot is measuring. Now, if you don't know, stepping back a little bit, the 59 and 60 Bassmans, I think most of 59 and all of 60 to my knowledge, they differ from the schematic in a number of ways, and the presence control is one of those. So on the schematic, I can pull it up real quick. On the schematic, it's calling for a 5K linear pot, and there's no resistor right here on this lug. So in actuality, pretty much all of the 1959 Bassmans and the 1960 Bassmans, again, to my knowledge, use a 25K linear pot and then a 4.7K resistor off of that lug. So the 0.1 is the same between all of them. So this amplifier has a replaced pot that measures, as I just showed, about 69K. It has the 4.7K resistor on there, but this should be 25K and it's 68K, 69K. So that's quite a ways off. We're going to want to replace that pot with a 25K linear. So I've got to do an order for that. And then just while I have it, I'll show you guys the other differences. There's a number of them. For example, this resistor right here should be a 10K according to the schematic. In actuality, the amps always have a 1 watt 6.8K. Mine was the same. This resistor right here, 100K. On the schematic, it'll show 56K. So that's different. The base cap is a 0.1. And in actuality, but on the schematic, it'll show a 0.02. So lots of little differences like that. So again, you're building an amp off a schematic, you might not actually be matching the vintage amplifiers. A lot of Fender schematics are notoriously wrong in a number of places. So anyways, we got to order parts. It'll be worth the wait. I was able to plug it into the cabinet and it was sounding very good at low volume, but yeah, we'll have to wait for the full play test once we get that new pot in. So anyways, time to order. Got the presence pot pulled out of the Bassman, some kind of replacement made in the USA, not sure what it is. You can see it had a really long end on it and they cut it to kind of get it to fit, and then it was still too long, so they had a big spacer, so it stuck out way far out there. So here is the new version. So it's a 25K, I believe it's a linear pot, the 0.1 tone cap, and then a 4.7K resistor. So we'll just go ahead and get this prepped for install. All right, just need to connect this wire right here, and then should be good for testing. Set up here to do a quick little demo, just showing the amp working. Now, quick caveat, I am under the weather. I just had a 100-degree fever last night. I feel like crap, but I want to record something really quickly. And of course, I wanted to put it side by side with my own personal Bassman because they're two just awesome pieces of history. So I've got my 335 plugged straight in, nothing else going on. I don't know what I'm going to play, but let's figure it out. Right channel on 4, treble on 5, bass on 4, middle on 9, and presence on 4. Sounds like this. We'll start on 4, just like we did there. And just for fun, let's just see how different the two Bassmans are side by side. Both have the exact same settings right now. So let's see. We'll go bright channel, volume on 4. I'm sitting closer to it, but this one sounds like it's got more low end to it. This one sounds like it's got more gain and clarity. That was the normal channel on half, 6.5. Same thing on this one. they sound different. Not the best representation, but if you want to hear more, I've played mine with all of my amplifier, or not all of my guitars, quite loudly. So there you go. Okay. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. Until next time, see ya.